Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. 3 persons of interest arrested in killing of 9-year-old. Prime Minister expresses outrage. Police have taken 3 persons of interest into custody as the probe continues into the killing of a 9-year-old girl in Kew Hanover on Wednesday. Earlier February 2nd, the police reported that another man was in custody in relation to the death of the girl. The deceased has been identified as 9-year-old Nikita Noel, otherwise called Jojo. Police theorized that the girl had been sexually assaulted and murdered. Head of the Hanover Police Superintendent Sharon Beepo told reporters that 3 men were picked up on Thursday. She said the men are known to the girl's family and to the community. Deputy Superintendent of Police Kibo Sims is calling on the community members to provide whatever information they can to aid the investigation.
Certainly, we are also appealing to members of the public, more so residents of this community, especially those who reside in close proximity to where this dastardly act was committed, for them to share whatever information that they have for us to be able to identify all the perpetrators.
Meantime, Principal of the ESSA Primary, Jennifer Wright, where Nikita attended, said she was an outstanding student.
But she's enthusiastic, she's independent, and she has leadership skills. She works well in groups because she has that kind of outgoing personality, and she helps to keep her classmates on task and focused. If she's absent from school a day,
Reports are that when the girl did not return home from school as expected on Wednesday, a missing persons report was filed with the police. Cops, along with other relatives of the girl and the residents of the community, then launched a search for her. Further reports are that the girl's body was found in bushes meters away from her home. Meantime, Prime Minister Andrew Holness has expressed outrage at the monstrous murder of the 9-year-old Nikita Noel. According to Mr. Holness, Nikita's horrifying murder is a shock to the country's collective conscience and sense of community and can only be described as evil. Mr. Holness offered support to Nikita's relatives as they try to make sense of the girl's vicious murder.
My heart goes out to Nikita's family and loved ones, and I'm sure that the entire Jamaica is praying for the family at this very sad time. Our society must never become numb to the increasing barbarity of acts of violence. The society must clearly define and defend the moral line by speaking out and unequivocally condemning these violent acts and supporting measures that will bring the perpetrators to justice. For this reason, the government is urgently seeking to amend the Offences Against a Person Act to provide stiffer penalties for those who terrorize and prey upon our people, particularly our vulnerable and innocent children. Such barbaric criminals must be in no doubt that the country wants to see them separated from the society.
Tanker drivers threaten to take industrial action if co-worker is not reinstated. Tanker drivers who transport petroleum across the country are threatening to take industrial action next Tuesday, February 7, if one of their colleagues is not reinstated. The workers affiliated with the Petroleum Tanker Drivers Association believe that their colleague, who was laid off on August 22nd last year, is being victimized by his employer. Vincent Morrison, president of the Union of Clerical Administrative and Supervisory Employees UKs, which represents the tanker drivers, says the workers in question has not committed any offence nor breach of Union Petroleum's rule and regulations. He says UKs has requested intervention into the matter.
We have written to the Minister of Labour asking for his intervention. Hoping that we can have a meeting of the parties at the earliest possible time so that we can resolve a very simple, very easy matter. We do not believe a matter of this sort should lead to a full-scale shutting down of the industry. That is not our intention. But, there are times when if you don't take drastic action, nothing happens.
Finance Minister rejects SSL's claim it was not seeking to wind up firm. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark is insisting that the temporary manager of the Financial Services Commission is in receipt of a resolution filed with the Companies Office of Jamaica for a member's voluntary winding up of investment firm Stock and Security Limited, SSL. The board of SSL stated that they had no plans to wind up the operations of the company with the appointment of a trustee. The entity pointed out that the intention was for an independent business review to be conducted to determine the financial health of the company as at January 16. But Dr. Clark told reporters that the documents were stamped, received by the company's office Jamaica. He said the document was clear. I don't know what people might see the intent is, but the document speaks for itself, and the temporary manager, the government of Jamaica, had to act in light of the resolution that was filed with the company's office, the minister insisted. Todd's pleased with announced review of child restraint regulation under Road Traffic Act. The Transport Operators Development Sustainable Services TODS is pleased that the contentious regulation about child restraint in public passenger vehicles will be reviewed. Notice of the review was given by Prime Minister Andrew Holness on Thursday after taxi operators complained that the child restraint requirement under the new Road Traffic Act was impractical. TODS President Hector Newman expressed hope for a favorable outcome when the matter is reviewed at the next meeting of the National Road Safety Council next Thursday.
The Transport Operators Development Sustainable Services is most pleased to hear that the Prime Minister, who chairs the National Road Safety Council, will be reviewing the section of the new Road Safety Act that deals with the transporting of children in a restrained seat. We see this as an excellent move and a swift move by the Prime Minister of Jamaica and the Cabinet. TODS have been engaged in discussion with several ministers on the subject, and we are happy to hear this announcement. It could not be that the Prime Minister wants public transportation to have restrained seats, especially taxis, for children 12 years and under. So we're happy. This was quick, and we hope that the consideration in the next meeting of the Road Safety Council will be granted.
Meanwhile, over 50 traffic tickets were issued by police in Manchester on day one of the new Road Traffic Act. Sub-officer in charge of the Manchester Traffic Department, Sergeant Williams, said the tickets were issued using the electronic traffic ticket system. He said the new act has brought order to the streets as motorists are conforming with the regulations.
So far, so good. The town is orderly and persons are really concerned and are confirmed. Since Wednesday, we have issued over 50 tickets with the new device. So the system is running and it's smooth so far and it's an easier way. In fact, it's less time and the motorist is not held up for an undue long time with this new device. So it's working well, it's so good so far and we have not had any glitches. It's important to know that the new Road Traffic Act is not here to beat down on anyone. It is there to serve as a deterrent. Don't watch the amount of money that is at an offense. Road Traffic Act is here as a deterrent for you not to. But we have to know that if you cross the line in terms of breach, then you'll be prosecuted.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell